What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. This week's episode is a discussion on who should challenge Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title post Survivor Series. Now, honestly, there's a long list of superstars who would be more than happy to face Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title. Did I say Raw Women's title? I think I said Raw. I meant to say SmackDown Women's title. I do apologize if I said Raw. Becky Lynch holds the Raw Women's title. Charlotte Flair holds the SmackDown Women's title. Kind of got used to it even before the draft. So, excuse me. There we go. Anyway, as I was saying, there are so many superstars who would be more than happy to take the SmackDown Women's title off of Charlotte Flair. You have Aaliyah. You've got, who else do we have? We've got Naomi, Natalya. We've got Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi, Toni Storm, Xia Li. We have a good amount of talent that would be more than happy to take the title off of Charlotte Flair, but I feel like as if, in my honest opinion, there are only so many superstars that Charlotte Flair could face, but there's, in my opinion, there's only three, who I feel like should face Charlotte Flair for the title, and one of them is obviously Toni Storm. And the reason why I chose, and the reason why Toni Storm is because of the fact that people forget she's a former NXT UK Women's Champion, and she's the first, and from what I've been reading, anyway, from what I've been reading, she's the first ever Progress Women's Champion. If you guys have never heard of Progress, it is I guess semi-old, semi-new European what's the term? The term I'm looking for. Indie wrestling promotion. Which I've heard a lot of really good things about them. So who knows? Maybe I might check them out. Who knows? But with all that, she's one of the best and brightest stars that SmackDown currently has to offer. Someone like her could really be a good match for Charlotte Flair. Even Aaliyah as well. And if you guys remember this past Friday on SmackDown, Aaliyah picked up the victory for her team, which consisted of her, Sasha Banks, and Naomi. So, maybe possibly Aaliyah. It is very possible, but you never know. You never know. Now, Naomi, on the other hand, I don't think she'll ever get a shot at the title, given the fact that she's now in a sort of like a rivalry of sorts with Sonya Deville, because of how power hungry Sonya Deville is. Do I blame Naomi? No, I don't, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Now, Shayna Baszler, on the other hand, she could be another good match for Charlotte Flair, because it's a battle. It would be a battle to see who has the more effective submission. Is it the Kirifuda clutch or the figure eight? It is very possible that Shayna Baszler could challenge her. Shotzi Blackheart, we know that she went up against Charlotte Flair just a few weeks ago on SmackDown, and even at the cost of turning heel, she became a force to be reckoned with. And Sasha Banks, let's be real, Sasha Banks is Sasha Banks. I'm just gonna throw that out there. And then you've got Xia Li. We've known quite a bit about her from her days in in NXT and alongside Mei Ying and Boa known as Tianxia. So with her on SmackDown, her ferocity, her powerful striking could really give Charlotte Flair a run for her money. So who? God damn these fucking mosquito bites, guys! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I actually have mosquito bites because my mom has dogs and she brought them over to the house, and every day, all day, every day, they go out and the mosquitoes come into the house. So I do apologize, but but anyway, who do I think should be the number? Who do I think should challenge Charlotte Flair? Out of all of the women, I would say Toni Storm. If I were to pick 4, I would say Toni Storm, Shotzi, Sasha Banks, and Aaliyah. Toni Storm, I have mentioned it before. She is a former NXT UK Women's Champion. She won the Mae Young Classic back in 2018, which I did do a prediction and result video on. If you guys want to check that out, if you guys want to check that out, you guys can definitely check it out. In fact, you guys really should check it out because I don't think the videos got any views. I don't even know. I don't even keep track anymore. But anyway, so hang on guys, hang on. Sorry, something just came up. Anyway, people forget that she's a former NXT UK Women's Champion. She won the Mae Young Classic back in 2018, which I did do a video on. For the first ever Progress Women's Champion. She even competed in the first ever Dusty Rhodes in the Dusty Rhodes Women's Tag Team Classic, which was incredible. And she even won War Games last year. So with those feats, with those accomplishments, that could really take her far. That could really take her far into the women's division on SmackDown if someone like Charlotte Flair doesn't take the golden shovel and just bury her. Now, as far as Shotzi goes, Shotzi could be a big threat to Charlotte's reign as champion for a multitude of reasons. Because for one, Shotzi is one of the most badass women that is on the roster currently, and with everything that she had gone through especially during the draft when we lost, Shotzi and Tegan, as a tag team. Her going at it as a singles competitor, it doesn't surprise me because for one, when she got into NXT, she was already a big star because of the fact that she was a part of the promotion known as Evolve, and when William Regal went over to Evolve and handed her an official NXT contract, her mind was blown. And I saw the videos on social media of her getting signed to NXT. It was it was just incredible, and she became extremely dominant. Her win and loss record in NXT was impeccable, and when we saw Ember Moon return, even though now Ember Moon is no longer with WWE, which is unfortunate, but when those two teamed up, it was incredible. Just that team alone, we thought when they won the tag team titles, we thought they were gonna be just dominant. And truth be told, they were extremely dominant. But now with Shotzi on SmackDown, there's no telling what can happen. There's no telling what she'll do, or rather what she can do on SmackDown. But that brings me to Sasha Banks, and funny enough, the rivalry between Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks, I don't think will ever get old. I'm just going to be real. I don't think it will ever get old because of the fact that they have battled so many times over the Raw Women's Championship throughout all of 2016, and even through a few times, and even also a few times in 2017 as well. So the rivalry is never going to end with these two. I don't know how. I don't know if with Banks being currently in a rivalry with Shotzi, I don't think she'll get a shot at the title. But I think now, and this is coming from what I saw when Sasha Banks came back. When Sasha Banks came back during the draft this year, I think now she's starting. I think she's going to become, I guess, more of a teacher, so to speak, rather than a champion, which is crazy because Sasha Banks was born to be more of a champion than a teacher. So with women like Shotzi, with women like Aaliyah and Xia Li and Toni Storm being on SmackDown, they could learn a lot from Sasha Banks, which is very possible. But at the same time, she basically can challenge. She could challenge Charlotte Flair if she wanted to, but I think she's going to be taking a step back from that, honestly. And then of course you've got Natalya. There's not much to say about her except that she is, when it comes to the women's division in WWE, she is one of the most winningest superstars in WWE today, which is incredible. Now Naomi, I had already talked about it before. No way she'll ever get a shot at the title as long as Sonya Deville runs SmackDown, which we all know is going to happen, of course. And then you've got Aaliyah, one of the newest acquisitions to SmackDown, once part of the Robert Stone brand in NXT, now finally going at it on her own. Honestly, in my opinion, I've got high hopes for Aaliyah, because with her on SmackDown, and with that pinfall victory she got this past Friday on SmackDown, she could become a huge threat to Charlotte Flair's reign as champion. So there are so many different outcomes there are so many different possibilities and outcomes that can come out of this whole scenario. So in a match between, we'll say, Aaliyah and Charlotte Flair, we'll say that for example. In this type of matchup, it would be based on skill versus heart. And Aaliyah, she's got heart. She's got the heart. She's got the balls big enough to step up to Charlotte Flair. But in this sense, in this case, experience would definitely come into play there. Definitely come into play. Now, if Sonya Deville would give Naomi a title shot, it would be based on who is more skilled in the ring. And people forget Naomi has been in the WWE longer than Charlotte Flair. So in this sense, Naomi could possibly win it if WWE were to book that the right way. Now Natalya, we all know the Hearts and the Flairs, the good old days of WCW. Yeah, we all know how that would end. We all know how that one would end. Now Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair, we all know it's basically 50-50 with those two, so it's kind of hard to say. It's kind of hard to say who would win that one. Now, as far as Shayna Baszler, that would be a good one. That would be a really good matchup for Charlotte Flair, given the fact that Shayna Baszler has had quite a few victories under her belt, not just from her days in NXT, but also from her days on Raw, and now being on SmackDown. Ooh, SmackDown beware. Shayna Baszler coming to hurt you. Coming to hurt you. Now, Shotzi, I did mention it before, with her ballsy attitude and with her heart, and with this new attitude of hers, she could be a big threat to Charlotte Flair and her title. Now, and Toni Storm is pretty much the same way, as is Xia Li. Xia Li could be another really good matchup for Charlotte Flair, with her strike, again, as I mentioned before, with her striking ability and with her mental prowess, if you will. That could be a big threat to a reign as champion. So overall, there are some superstars that I wouldn't mind seeing challenge Charlotte Flair, but if there was one or two superstars that I would see face Charlotte Flair, I would say Shotzi and Toni Storm, mainly because of the fact that they both came up from independent promotional companies. I'll say such as Evolve and Progress, and being able to come up from that to WWE, from the Mae Classic to NXT, just right off the bat, and then to NXT UK with Storm winning the NXT UK Women's title. Either of those two could definitely face Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title. But that brings me to the question of the day. Who do you guys want to see face Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title? Let me know in the comments below. And that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button if you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, which gets posted every Monday. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All the links will be down in the description below. And if you guys have any fan mail you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, my address will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.